All right. Hello, everybody. I have to check and make sure I'm in focus right here. As you can tell, trying something different today. This is not going to be the case all the time. I just had to move a bottle of haze juice out of the way. Haze juice, baby. This is filmmaking. Anyways, chaotic start to the video. Sorry, everybody. I'm testing out some lenses right now. We're not going to talk about it. I'm hoping to shoot a little with these bad boys this weekend. Put them through the ringer. I'm DPing a music video next week on Monday, which means I get to rent gear on Friday and play with it for a couple days before I end up shooting, which is great. I don't usually have that kind of prep time, but it was a necessity because we're shooting at 6 a.m. on Monday, so no rental house is open at that time or on Sunday. So I have spent the last little bit prepping all of this. Anyways, we'll talk more about lenses at another time because that's not what today is about. Today is about this, probably so you can see it. Now, if you look right next to my face, there's a little number. It says film camera in 59 days. Yes, 59 days. That is how many days until production starts on my first feature film. That's a very big deal for me. I said when I was 21 that I was going to make a movie before I was 30. And I turned 28 in about a week. So it's close. It's very, very close. And that means I have about 2 years, a little over 2 years, to finish and release this movie to make that goal a reality. And if I'm being so for real with you, I don't know that I ever thought that I would actually do it, but here we are. And that means I have a lot of work to do over the next 2 months. Production for us is starting the week of November 1st. It is currently the week of September 5th, September 1st. That's a lot. That's not very much time. It is a lot of time. Like 2 months is a decent chunk of time, but yeah, it's starting to feel real because we are trying to shoot 70 to 90 minutes, 80 to 90 minutes really, of movie in 7 days. We are trying to do it on very low budget, very minimal crew, all of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to run through what I'm doing over the next 60 days before production starts on my feature. And as is the case with me, this isn't like a scripted out, I have these things that I have to hit. If I'm being for real with you, I asked ChatGPT like 2 days ago what I should be working on. Because I am stressed a little. I'm like excited stressed, right? Like I want to just work on it at all times now. And for the last 9 months, it's been a little bit more of like, oh yeah, I should write. Oh, I should work on this or that or whatever. And I have diagnosed ADHD, so deadlines are very elusive to me until they are imminent. I don't really understand or fathom time at all until I'm out of it. And 60 days for something like a feature actually does kind of feel like, oh shit, I'm out of time. Which, honestly, great. I'm really stoked that I'm feeling that way 60 days out, because I was worried I wouldn't feel that way until 14 days out, and that would be really bad. But if there's anything that I've learned, it's that if you start involving other people, you kind of have to have your shit together. And the last thing I want to do is look bad in front of my colleagues who are homies and are doing a lot of this free of charge, or at least up front. That's a conversation for another day. How do you pay crew when you don't have money, but you do want to make a movie? Ideally, I'll make that video in like a year from now when I've paid them back. But we can talk about what the plan is another time. For now, let's talk about what I'm actually doing, because there's a lot to do. What I'm actually doing is, first things first, we are starting to have very legitimate meetings. I'm just fiddling. I was holding my phone, I put it down, not holding this. Before that I was holding my iPad. This feels too big and awkward to fiddle with. Anyways, what am I doing? First and foremost, we're meeting with people that we want involved. These are very specific people for the most part. On a crew like this, on a project like this, you don't want people you haven't worked with before, people you don't know at all, people that are gonna be a wild card, because there's straight up not timed. Like, we are just like, everything has to be dotted the whole time. The whole movie has to be on it. So we are talking to our friends, explaining what the project is, explaining how we want to go about it, how we think we're going to be able to do it, what they would be doing in that time frame, what the time suck is for them, and what they, if proposing, hey, come have a great time for 7 days, get some free meals, make something really cool, and hopefully it does well and we all get paid later. But really it is like, hey, like, most of you guys are here in Nashville making not movies, you're making music videos, making commercials, making whatever, corporate things, right? And most of those guys want to be making movies. And girls. We have a handful of wonderful ladies that are going to help us out too, which is great, because more women in film, am I right? Nashville has like not that many women in film, but it's getting better. Anyways, that's like step one for us, and every day that I have a conversation with someone about it, so far there's been very few no's, which is almost more stressful because it's like, oh shit, this is real and people are excited about this now. It's not just me and my co-director thinking about it and talking about it and hoping that we would make something. It's like us actually doing it with people. So now we have to have our shit together, which is great. And we know when it's happening. It's also not like, oh yeah, we're gonna make it this year. Now it's like, this week, this specific week of the year, block your calendar. So that's been kind of the main hurdle of this week. The other thing that we are doing, we are still, as always, you're gonna be editing your script. I think we're gonna be changing that script up until, Halloween. Hopefully not majorly, but we will be. Just finessing it, making it better, making things flow easier, making things make more sense, whatever. So we're doing that. We are meeting with actors and trying to convince them to be involved. We have one of our actors. We're hoping to meet with another one soon, and that is a very fun thing too. It's the same thing as getting crew involved. I just know less actors, so asking someone to come be the lead of a movie is a little bit stressful. Then the other big thing that I am cruising through over the next 2 weeks really is we are making an animatic from start to finish. The entire 80 to 90-minute movie. We're doing this because it's an insane thing that we're trying to do in a week. And making a movie when you've never made a movie, we know there's going to be hiccups along the way, and we don't want there to be. So we're trying to mitigate that by having made the movie already, making it as dialed, as cohesive, as planned as possible. And if we know that down to the shots, if we know that down to what angles we need, when we need them, why we don't need extra ones, then hopefully when we get into the edit, we're not caught off guard by like, oh shit, we didn't ever get a close-up for that one line, or we didn't get a wide for the transition. Like, our hope is to record our actors during their table reads, just put microphones in their room, and take those table reads, put them in, then put our storyboards and like our shot references from other movies and cut it to the dialogue of the movie. That is our plan. I'm gonna go shut the garage door real fast. And I'm gonna do that. And then I will come talk to you. I love you so much. And I can't wait to show you what I've been working on. It's very cool. Oh, okay. Sorry. Dude, I gotta get a chair here. I almost died on this Pelican. Anyways. Planning. Animatic. I think we're onto something there. I think also like having that like read-through audio is going to be really exciting to like feel that movie a little bit more. I think the danger there is like getting what musicians call demoitis, getting too attached to how it was in the animatic, how maybe they said it in a read-through. I think those types of things are potentially dangerous, but overall, I'm not too worried. I think it'll be fine, and I think the pros outweigh the cons in that one, just because of how fast we're shooting this. For context, most feature films shoot in like between 14 and 21 days. We are trying to shoot ours in about 7, with potentially some extra days on the tail end for second unit stuff. Our movie requires a lot of car shots, and by that I mean the entire thing is car shots. So we're gonna have to get in there and do a bunch of driving shots, which is great. But that's like stuff that if we don't get it on the main day with the actors and all the crew, fine, who cares? We'll go back and get every possible thing that we could ever want later with cars. So that's like big get that done is the animatic. Getting storyboards, animatics, shot lists, all of that stuff done as quickly as possible. The other reason that is so important for us is that with a movie that takes place in a car, you gotta keep it interesting, but it's very like these things build on each other over time, and we need everyone involved to be on the same page about what it is that we are making, how this movie flows, why it flows the way it does, why things are important, because of how we want to shoot it and how we want to do it to be the most cost effective. Doing a movie in a week means we are knocking it out in one go, but it is very different than something like Christopher Nolan's Following, where he shot it over, months on weekends and, stealing equipment from his job. Like, we're not quite able to do that because we have to rent a couple things and, cars that aren't ours and that kind of thing. So we have to be dialed. And so we are going to be rehearsing pretty extensively is the hope, so that everyone knows how those things go, how to do it. So that leads me to the next thing that I am doing, which is planning. Planning out how, when we are doing things. Figuring out schedules with key crew as well as actors to do a couple evening or weekend like run-throughs, read-throughs, practices. And then on top of that, gear. If you didn't see my video a couple weeks back, it was the video that kind of launched this whole rebirth of me making YouTube videos, stealing gear from projects to test it and get paid for it, but you ultimately are making things for yourself. I think this is more in focus than me. No, maybe not. Also want, oh baby, okay. Yeah, alright. I'll live with it. So, testing gear. That's where this stuff comes in. That's where these lenses come in. These are the same lenses that I've been wanting to shoot this movie on. Sorry to my DP. I am also a DP, so sometimes I get really excited about specific gear and then I kind of step on his toes a little bit. But we have had conversations about it. He's also my best friend in the world, so sorry, Mitchell. He's probably my only friend that watches these videos. The rest of y'all are just sweet babies. I don't know who you are. Thanks for watching. That's where cages like this, handles like this thing, the wireless monitor setup, a lot of this stuff I am finding ways to work into other projects so that I can test it out while getting paid as part of my job. And it's working out. And like, it's not at a disservice to the other projects. This lens kit, this director for Monday, like really wanted that look. And I was like, that's great. I've been wanting to play with these anyways. He was like, let's do it. Same with this stuff. Like, it was like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to buy stuff for monitoring purposes, and now I need it for this thing where I'm solely the DP. So I will be holding the camera and someone else needs to be the director. That's great. So that's been a big part of what I'm doing leading up to this feature. Is my co-director is more of the producer AD kind of brand space. I am a little bit more on the technical camera lighting brand space. So I am going through what kind of gear are we going to need, how's that going to cost, what does it look like to get that stuff, test it, all that kind of stuff. So here we are, 60 days out. In that same time frame, there will be a lot of conversations with my co-director, a lot of back and forth about how we're doing it, why we're doing it, when we're doing it, where we're doing it, talking to government about shutting down roads so that we can shoot, talking to police departments, talking to different people. There is even some prop making going on, which I'm not going to show you because I'm worried that I'll get banned by just like bringing that prop into this video unexpectedly. It's also not fully built, but I've been putting that little 3D printer to work, baby, which I haven't talked about 3D printing at all. Starting to get into it over the last like 9 months. It's rad, dude. Maybe I'll make some videos about that. And 3D printing specifically for film, because that is the only reason I bought it, was for props and for camera gear. So that's where we're at. What else am I missing? Pitching things. We are not looking for investors on this movie because we don't want to promise them to make their money back. We don't want to have the pressure of that. We also don't want to be told what to do. We want this to be our movie. With that said, we are also going to try and pitch a handful of other companies that we like and want to work with, and kind of be like, hey, like, we're making a movie. Do you want to help us by supplying this gear? And we'll make you, social content, and like you'll be part of the behind the scenes of making a movie with no budget and your friends. So that is a little bit on my radar. I need to get that going probably next week, not this week, because I don't have time right now. But yeah, I'm sure I'll make another one of these. But yes, that's my week or two. Like, I'm kind of breaking it into 4 parts. It's like weeks 1 through 2, weeks 3 through 4, weeks 5 and 6, weeks 7 and 8, and then production is week 10, 9, week 9. Yes. So that is kind of how I'm thinking about all of this. So for the next week or so, it's a lot of conversations, a little bit of scheduling, a bit of prop making and sourcing and that kind of thing. And it's really just like conversations about what needs to happen. And that's basically it, dude. It's getting kind of hot in here. It's kind of a hot day, unexpectedly, this fall. But if you're curious and you want to see the lenses, leave a comment down below of what lens you think I'm shooting on right now. I'll even just give you like the brand and like if you can get the brand and the series of lenses, I'm impressed, and I'll give you a high five if I see you sometime. Leave it in the comments down below, and I don't care about the rest of the stuff. Talk to you later. Bye.